We're going to read a nonfiction text today. If you remember, nonfiction means that it's true. It's about real things. It has information and facts. So our author's purpose of this nonfiction story is to inform because it's full of information. We're going to learn all kind of features about nonfiction text today. So let's get started. This is called Amazing Animals. Amazing Animals. It's by David Drew. So he's our author. He's the person who wrote the story. The title's up here. This is a cover page. The very front of the book. Let's see what's inside. This is the table of contents. Also part of the title page in this case. It's going to have your title up top, and then it says contents. That's telling you what is inside this book. What are you going to read? So we're going to have an introduction, the tongue of a frog, the feet of a kangaroo, the eyes of a hawk, the wings of an albatross, the trunk of an elephant, the eyes of an octopus, and then an index. So to use a table of contents, let's say I wanted to read more about the albatross. When I say the wings of the albatross, I follow it. That's on page 10. So if I were to go to page 10, this is the page full of information about the albatross. Cool. So let's go back to the beginning and read Amazing Animals. Introduction. Now I know how to say introduction up here because this is the heading on this page. The heading in a nonfiction text is usually going to be either underlined or really big or in a different font somewhere up top when a new section of the book starts. So I know this is the heading because it's in its own box. So this is introduction. If you had the trunk of an elephant or the wings of an albatross, what could you do? In this book, you can find out how different animals use their wings, eyes, trunk, feet, arms, or tongue. So, where's the heading on this page? That right up there up top. You got it right. The headings in this book are all going to be in the same kind of boxes. This is the heading. This tells me what kind of information I'm going to find on this page. And the headings are what you're going to find in the table of contents. The tongue of a frog on page 4. The tongue of a frog. Cool. Why does a frog have a long tongue? A frog uses its long tongue for catching insects. Now, I have an illustration here. It's an illustration. It's a drawing. Since there's not another name on the cover, I'm going to assume that David Drew is the author. He wrote the story and also the illustrator. He drew some of the pictures. There are also photographs in this book. This is a photograph. I mean, someone used the camera and took the picture and then drew it, but someone had to illustrate this one. So under this picture, you'll notice another box. This is called the caption. This caption is going to tell me all about this picture. It says a frog's tongue is half as long as its body. So it gives me gives me a ruler here to help me see that the tongue is half as long as the frog's body. So the caption explains the picture. How does a frog use its tongue? Oh, there's a label. The label has an arrow pointing to a part. It says tongue. So it's pointing to the tongue. It's labeling that part. This caption says, a frog unrolls its tongue when it sees an insect move. There's another label, sticky pad. The tip of the tongue has a sticky pad on it. The insect sticks to the tongue pad. Here's a new heading, feet of a kangaroo. Why does a kangaroo have big feet? A kangaroo uses its feet for jumping and for fighting. If you had the feet of a kangaroo, you could jump over 2 cars. How does a kangaroo use its feet? The feet and legs have powerful muscles for jumping. A kangaroo uses its long feet for extra power. A kangaroo also uses its tail when it jumps. The heavy tail balances the body. The eyes of a hawk. Why does a hawk need good eyesight? A hawk uses its eyes for finding food on the ground when it is flying high in the air. If you were a hawk, you could see these dots from the other side of the classroom to get real close to see them. But a hawk can see them far away. Why does a hawk have good eyesight? At the back of the eye are tiny cones. They help the eye to see the color of objects clearly. A hawk has many more cones in its eye than we have. So a hawk can see much better than a human. So here's a human eye, and the cones in the human eye, and then a hawk eye. See how many more cones it has? The wings of an albatross. Why does an albatross have long wings? The long wings of an albatross allow it to glide through the air without needing to flap its wings. If you had the wings of an albatross, you could glide for many hours. How does an albatross use its wings to glide? After the albatross has taken off, the windy air lifts the wings and the albatross rides on the air. An albatross glides easily when it is windy. However, in calm weather, an albatross cannot fly. The trunk of an elephant. Why does an elephant have a trunk? An elephant uses its trunk for drinking, eating, breathing, and washing itself. How does an elephant use its trunk? Oh, there's another label. Nostrils. We have nostrils. An elephant blows and sucks air or water through the nostrils in its trunk. The trunk has 2 lips the elephant uses like fingers to pick up very small plants. The arms of an octopus. Why does an octopus have suckers on its arms? An octopus uses the suckers on its arms for hanging onto rocks and coral. If you had the arms of an octopus, you could hang from the ceiling. How does an octopus use its arms? The arms of an octopus have strong muscles for catching prey. The suckers also have muscles. They stick to the rock when the suckers are pressed against it. Okay, now we've come to the end of our nonfiction text, and at the end of this one, it has an index. What the index is going to do is give us pages where we can find information. So if I wanted to read more about catching, how do these animals catch things, I could turn to page 4 or 15. If I wanted to learn about seeing, I could turn to page 9. So let's go back to page 9. Oh, and there's that page again about the hawk having good eyesight, seeing. And then some nonfiction texts have what's called a glossary in the back. Our story doesn't have a glossary, but the glossary is going to have keywords that were in the text, and it's going to give you the definition of the word that you read if it's unfamiliar. So when you're finished reading the video, watching the video, and I read the book, I want you to see how many amazing animal facts you can remember about all of these amazing animals.